going on, Freak Nation? Happy Martin Luther King Day to all of you out there. Crasher and yours truly, we're hanging out at, you see the sign back there, Margaret Hance Park. Crasher's out there on the green celebrating Martin Luther King Day, where they marched, numerous people, a lot of folks marched from Baptist Church downtown here in Phoenix to Margaret Hance Park. And Richie, here's a little bit of Phoenix trivia for you. Do you have any idea who Margaret T. Hance was?
I actually don't know.
Margaret T. Hance was the first female mayor of Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, there you go. I learned something today. That's good. I like to do that on Mondays.
Sure, Happy Learning Monday.
We got little Henley out here as we're all celebrating the life of Martin Luther King. I kicked myself in the butt for not doing this sooner. It's a great celebration. You have numerous committees out here, organizations. You have music. You got lots of grub. You got a lot of things for the kids. Crasher, where are you right now?
You can kind of see behind me. I'm in the area of the bouncy houses. We were just here watching Henley go through one of the mazes, what do you call them? Mazes.
Oh, an obstacle course.
Obstacle course, there you go. So yeah, I decided to just sit my butt down here in the beautiful grass and just kind of wait until I see you again. I don't know, where are you? You guys are like on the other side of this park right now, aren't you?
Yeah, we're passing up some of the tents. In fact, right now, behind me, you have the COVID-19 rapid tests going on.
Nice.
A lot of folks lined up for their rapid tests. We're on the south side of Hance Park. I mean, you can see all of the booths behind me. A lot of folks in line getting their ass done.
There's a lot of art. There's a lot of food. There's a lot of, it's actually a TV channel just to my right, doing some interviews as well. So yeah, there's a lot of everything. There is something for, Kenny. I am sitting right in front of the Girl Scout cookie booth.
Oh, get me some.
Right?
I just saw them. Oh my gosh. They have box loads upon box loads upon box loads. We're not leaving empty-handed. Let's put it that way.
Some Thin Mints. What is your guys' favorite Girl Scout cookie? I don't eat them that often, so I don't even know what the options are, except for Thin Mints, which are my favorite.
Yeah, I think everybody in the world has some sort of an allegiance to Thin Mints, but I like Tagalongs. They are the peanut butter chocolate ones, but I heard a rumor a couple years ago that they no longer make Tagalongs. Is that true? Maybe we'll have to find out, but I hope that they still make them.
What's the one called with the chocolate and the coconut?
S'mores.
What's that, Richie? No. What are those called?
Not s'mores.
Samoas.
Yeah.
Samoas. Bam! There you go.
Yes.
That's my favorite. Anytime I get my hand on a Samoa, I'm Samoa good, baby. A lot of folks out here, man, celebrating Martin Luther King Day. It's a special day for millions of Americans. And I don't need to get into the weeds into this, but it's, again, introducing a 8-year-old to the history of Martin Luther King and what he means to not just America, but to the world. Civil rights leader Martin Luther King. We watched a cool documentary, a quick documentary on Martin Luther King earlier this morning on National Geographic channel, I believe it was, and it was a quick history and really, Crasher, I think you would agree, short enough to keep the attention span of 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds.
Oh, without question. Henley paid attention for, I'd say, 95% of it. And then at the end, she goes, I already knew all that.
Would you like to sign my petition?
So that was kind of funny.
Go away, buddy.
Hey!
There you go. All right.
Sign the petition and go live at the same time. Whatever. Yeah.
Right. Hey, that's what I'm talking about, man.
But yet, I just found it interesting that at the end, Henley said, oh, yeah, I know all this already. It's like, actually, she does. And it's cool because she still sat there and watched it because she was familiar with it. And she knows. We try to keep her abreast of what's going on in the world today. And she knows that it's up to her and her generation to make sure that people are treated better equally moving forward.
Right.
And it's great to see with Richie's generation. And then now, as we're seeing with Henley's generation, that thankfully race and just religion and other things are just becoming less and less of an issue, and people are becoming more involved with each other and more caring for each other as the generations go on. It's just, we still got a lot of work to do though.
Hey, Richie, go back to your time in middle school and high school. Did the recognition of Martin Luther King, was it, I'm not going to say part of the forefront, but was it part of your history lessons, part of the discussion, even in your high school days?
Not until high school, really, which is unfortunate, because most of my elementary school days, Martin Luther King would be brought up once in a while, but for the most part, and this is maybe an indictment on Arizona schools, but especially in elementary school, essentially a lot of our history would end at World War II. And there wasn't a lot after that. So not until really high school and then in college did I really get any type of education in terms of the classroom on the civil rights movement. And that kind of stinks, and I'm glad that Henley at 8 years old is getting to not only experience what's going on today at Hance Park, but watching documentaries about Martin Luther King and everything he meant. Like, I mean, my parents obviously talked about Martin Luther King on Martin Luther King Day, but like
that's
outside of
awesome
that,
to hear, man.
Yeah, in terms of schooling, it's unfortunate that the civil rights movement and what it meant and how impactful it was just wasn't taught in school, 15 years ago. But I feel like that's changed, which is good.
Richie, that's such an interesting point that you make, because I never thought about it that way. But that's exactly how school was for me in the 80s, is that it basically stopped, your history lessons basically stopped at World War II. And oh my gosh, are we saying that those crucial decades before we were born did not exist? No, it's just for some reason the educational system just didn't have time to put them in books. I don't get it, but that should have been taught without question, arguably more than anything from the 1600s or the 1400s, let's be honest. So yeah, very good point. I never thought of it that way.
Well, me being older than both of you, are you kidding me?
Yeah, right.
We don't have a great track record of really exploring the good, the bad, and the ugly of American history. Just a second, my daughter needs to go use the bathroom. Right there, babe. I'll be right here.
But no, you're right too, Kenny, in that, and it's something that we're battling now with a lot of people, is that we've got to study the bad of American history, because that's how we learn. That's how we learn what happened, how we became better from it, if we became better from it, and how to be better moving forward. So yeah, there's all this or people trying to stop the negative history. We got to stop that. Let's just learn history as it was. We've got to learn our good, bad, and ugly and move on from it. Absolutely.
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes from one of my first classes in college at Cronkite, my professor was like, "History doesn't repeat itself; it rhymes." I think that's perfect, and that's stuck. That quote, I don't remember who that quote is attributed to. I need to look it up. But like that quote, that was from 2009 when I was a freshman in college, and that quote is still stuck with me, 13 years later, which is wild. But that just speaks to how true it is.
Well, and if you dive down into the history of, and again, I don't want to get into the negativity or the weeds, but if you dig down into the history of Arizona and Martin Luther King and Martin Luther King Day, football fans, you'll know where I'm going, where I could go with that, but I'm not. But again, it's a celebration for Martin Luther King. And one quick thing about Henley Crasher, and probably, and her generation and those before her, was she knew exactly what had happened to Martin Luther King. She learned that in kindergarten. She learned that in first grade. And something else, she realizes the importance of Abraham Lincoln. She drew a portrait of Abraham Lincoln and knew the importance of what he meant to the Emancipation Proclamation and so forth. So just getting it ingrained into the younger generations to realize the importance of equality throughout the planet is so important. And that's why I say, hey, look, man, by the looks of things, with little things like that, and Richie's generation and my nephew's generation, I think we're in good hands, man. Moving forward, whether they believe they're relaying the message of Martin Luther King or not, it resonates about equality here on this planet.
Exactly. And I think I think that also the message has been pretty clear that there's still a lot of work to be done, and people are accepting that and embracing it and making change little by little. It's not as fast as we want, but it's happening.
You know, Richie, again, we crack on each other quite a bit, but part of the history of Speed Freaks and the Freaks is we've always tried to associate ourselves with not just being different, but being different and representing certain sectors of society, and keep trying to keep a youthful influence in that, whether it's my old ass or Crasher's almost old ass or Statman. We like to keep youth infused because we know we can get set in our old ass ways. And when you have a guy like yourself, when we were in Los Angeles, Crasher, we had numerous younger people working with us. It's to keep that vibe. It's to keep the integral part of growing and learning as we get older. Because at my age, if I stopped learning, holy smokes, I'd be one of those bastards that I internally rail against, frankly.
Right.
But being a part of this group right here, and I told Henley, I said, Henley, you're going to go to Margaret Hance Park for Martin Luther King Day celebration, and you're going to be a minority. And it didn't faze her in that it's like, okay, that's okay.
Yeah. That was kind of cool to witness too.
Right? It didn't frighten her, Crash. It was just like, okay. She doesn't know any different. She's not being raised to know any difference. Her friends and a lot of our friends and family members are minorities, and they're friends because of who they are, not the color of their skin. It's because of who they are, their character, and their love, and their life, and the ability to build a friendship together with their children and with other children's families. Crashing.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I mean, people have mentioned it many, many times over the years. I mean, you're not born with hate in your heart. You're not born with discrimination in your heart. You're born, and things of that negative nature are self-taught, basically. They're taught by your environment. So, yeah, having her in an extremely diverse preschool was awesome, because she just right out of the gate, just saw no boundaries, saw no color, saw nothing except for, hey, you and I like the same cheese bread, or you and I like the same soccer ball. And it's cool. And I love that. And yeah, it is up to us, though, to keep that going.
Richie, what do you find, again, in your early 30s? Have you been able to acknowledge certain sectors of life on this planet and the growth towards better days?
I try to.
Right.
I'm still learning to this day, right? Especially when it comes to like LGBTQ rights. Like, I'm still learning about that pretty much every day and trying to be better in terms of how I understand what it means to be, whether it be trans or bi or whatever that may be. I'm still learning more about that every day, which is kind of wild. Even just in the last 15, 16 years, like, people around me in high school used to say things that I think back and I go, why? Why do we do that? Why do we play this game where it was basically tag, but we used a slur in the name of this game, right? Which I'm not going to repeat today, but I think back on that when we were 10, 11 years old, and it was great. It was a fun game. Let's play blank to blank. Not cool anymore, right? And it's just, and that was only 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, right? And so it's getting better. I don't know how quickly things are going to continue to move in that direction and us evolving as a society. But I hope it does, and I try to do my best to do that and continue to evolve as a person, a human being, and continue to learn. So, and I'm glad that, like you said, things like what's going on there at MLK Day down in Hance Park, like, that's part of it. Having kids show up there with their families and learn and understand that, like, listen, like, we're all in this together, and that's cool.
We all want the same thing. We all want to be loved. We all want to be heard. We all just want to be happy. I mean, it's not that hard, people. We make a choice every day on how we're going to treat other people. It's not that hard to do the right thing.
Hey, Richie, we've been in Phoenix for over 8 years now. You go back to some of those first radio shows and look and listen to some of the things that all of us said and did, not necessarily to offend anyone, but you go back and look at some of the things we said just as recent as 8 years ago. We're not saying those things because we recognize the significance of some things that come out of our mouth. But that's just part of evolution.
Learning.
Yeah. I mean, I go back, listen, me being older than you guys, I'm not proud of some of the things I said and did, and hopefully I'm a much better person than I was in my teens and my 20s because of realizing that I was wrong in some of my thoughts and some of the words that came out of my mouth. We're all that way, but once we stop learning, that's the problem. You've got people out here that are much older than me, and I'm an old-ass dude, that continue to learn, continue to share what they're learning and bringing out these kids out here and letting them experience something as special as a Martin Luther King celebration. And then, of course, you got bouncy houses. I mean, come on. What celebration? You got to have bouncy house everywhere. Cardinals are out here. Good job, Cardinals. Thanks for coming out here and bringing one of your football throw housey, bouncy houses. I'm not sure what you call it.
I am a little upset, though, in that there's got to be a company out there that does bouncy houses for adults. I mean, we need to have our fun, too. I mean, seriously. I want to go have jumpy fun.
Richie, I think she's onto something. Maybe we get something. Can you see the bouncy house there, Richie?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. Maybe, you make it the adult version, but in the corner, you put a tap. Right? You put a tap in the corner over there with, your favorite brewskis, or maybe you have like a shelf in each corner with Jello shots. And
Jello shots at least won't spill. If you have a tap, you're going to spill when you bounce.
You know how you have swim-up bars in Vegas in certain hotels? Hell yes.
Bouncy bars.
At the bouncy house. Right? Come on, man. Why not? I like that idea, Crasher. I think you're onto something, babe.
Maybe we can trademark it and retire forever.
Yeah, speaking of, that 8-year-old would be really proud of their parents, wouldn't they? Who's your mom and dad? Oh, they invented the bouncy house, the Jello shot bouncy house. Oh.
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, seriously.
But again, Freak Nation, thank you guys for tuning into this. I hope you're celebrating and realize the significance of this day. It's celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day, but it's also a day of service where it's funny. It's a day of service, but a lot of people take it off. And hopefully many of the people who take it off put some of that time back into the community to serve the community. And numerous individuals are doing this here today at Margaret Hance Park in downtown Phoenix. Oh, look at that. Richie, go out and serve somebody, will you, buddy?
I am. I'm gonna be doing that a little bit later today. I'm showing up to work, even though the Rams are playing tonight, and I'm gonna be delivering people their produce. So that'll be exciting.
Woo! Just keep your hands off my bananas, buddy. All right. All right, Freak Nation. Happy Martin Luther King Day. We'll do it again on Wednesday. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and of course on TikTok. Man, we really hit that TikTok account, don't we?
Oh yeah, hit it hard.
Do you have a TikTok account?
No, I don't think we do.
No,
I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that. That's what I'm.
All right.
That's what I feel like.
Hey, which, by the way, Richie.
Yes.
Can you see that on my forehead?
Oh no, let's not go there.
Oh, is there? Wait, is that like a little? Just knock yourself into a table? Is that what's going on there?
Close.
We got back to Phoenix yesterday morning from the Chili Bowl there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We slept 2 hours, got back. So we were in bed pretty early last night. And I got up for my first potty break at about 11:15.
But we took our showers last night.
Right, yeah. And it's dark in our room. And usually there's a
Very.
clear pathway to the bathroom. I know the pathway, and I wasn't delusional. But about 3 or 4 seconds into my walk to the potty, boom, there was a glass shower door that was open that I walked right into, melon first. I mean, boom. Can you see that beauty?
I'm so sorry. What happened was I was the last one to take a shower, and I left the door open because Omar comes in the shower when we're done and licks up the water from the floor. And I forgot to close the door. So yeah, I basically almost took my own husband out. Sorry.
Yeah. It's all right. We all make mistakes. Speaking of, you see what's right behind me? There's those Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, I see Dad. He's over
See
there.
him? Hold on,
I
let's
see
if
you.
got,
You're right over there.
Let me see. Hold on a second. See if you got my favorite. Where are my favorite girls? Where are they?
He's right over there at the Girl
Where are
Scout
they?
cookies.
Oh, look at that. Chocolate and peanut butter. There's Thin
green.
Mints. Holy smokes, guys.
The green area. Right there.
Let me finish this broadcast. I'm going to come over and contribute, all right? Cool. Badass.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, what I'm talking about. All right. All right. Hey, happy Martin Luther King Day, everybody. Thank you guys for being a part of this, putting up Freak Nation for as many years as you have. Celebrate the life of Martin Luther King. Any last words, Crashers, Suave?
No, just reflect and just take time to appreciate other people regardless of how same or different they are from you. It's so important because, again, that's all we want. We just want to be loved and accepted. Let's do it.
Go Rams.
Of course, Richie. Oh, I get it.
Yeah, Kenny, sorry
Actually,
about you. How about them Cowboys, huh?
Yeah, that's. I blame that bump on the head from the shower door. It's actually me hitting my head against the wall 56 times, like all the Cowboys fans.
Oh, okay. I'll go with that one too.
All right, guys. Richie, sign us off, babe.
Boo Rams.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, did you hear it? Did you? Whoa! Did you hear her? Say it again.
Boo Rams.
Oh my
Ooh,
gosh.
Rams.
Oh. All right, we're done. Bye. See ya.
And
Take
have
care,
us some
everybody.
cars.